Hello, minasan. It's Hisako. I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. Today I wanted to do a little video to talk about Kitsuke tools. If you're getting started in kimono dressing, whether it be that you're learning to dress someone else or dress yourself, either way, it's always important to have some basic tools in your Kitsuke kit that can help with kimono dressing. So some of these are a must-have, some are more like just kind of optional because it makes it easier. It's up to you. You can collect pieces individually, but I have seen several sellers online who do sell Kitsuke sets where it's like a whole arsenal of different tools that you would need to get dressed in kimono and basic Kitsuke. So I tend to go with those just because I like getting an entire set so I can get started. So yeah, in the next clip, let's talk about all of the parts that I have in my Kitsuke set. As I stated before, you can buy these pieces individually or you can buy them together as a set depending on what the seller has available. I personally like to go with a set, especially when I first started out with kimono, just because it was easier to have all those parts, but it is up to you. So let's start first with some of the really basic things that you would need for kimono dressing, and that would be koshihimo belts. So these come in a lot of different colors. I usually see them in white or pink, but for men's koshihimo, which it really doesn't matter if you're using them for men or women because you're not going to see them underneath the kimono. But I've seen them in darker colors like black or navy blue as well. But these are usually made of like cotton or linen. They're thin belts. You will need these to secure the kimono when you're putting it on. Usually for kimono dressing, you need at least two. I like to have 3 to 4 because 2 of them will definitely be underneath the kimono. But I like to use extra ones for my juban or to like temporarily hold things in place when I'm doing the obi. It's up to you, but I would say try to get at least maybe 4 of these minimum because I find to have more is useful than not having enough. So there's that. Also, if you don't want to do koshihimo belts for the kimono when you're doing the folds, there's a couple other different options you can use. I don't remember what these are called in Japanese, but we have this nifty little thing. It's got these little clips. So the way this works, if you don't want to do the koshihimo belt where you tie it around, you clip this onto like the one side of the kimono and come around and you come in through like the armpit hole and you clip the other one on the other side of this place and you adjust it. As you can see, there's like little adjusters there. And it helps keep the kimono shut. It prevents the kimono from coming undone. So you can use this. It's a little more comfortable than a koshihimo belt and it stays in place. As well as you have this belt, which is very similar. Another stretchy belt that's got a hook on the end. You can also use this to secure the kimono as well if you don't want to use a koshihimo belt. And this one does have an adjuster as well so you can tighten it. And you just hook it instead of tying like you would with the koshihimo belt. So this is another really nifty tool. This is also very helpful for temporarily securing parts of the obi when you're trying to do different kinds of styles or designs or musubi. Particularly otaiko musubi, this is very helpful to kind of temporarily hold stuff up while you're doing the rest of the obi before undoing it. So this is a really nice tool to have. Another thing that you should absolutely have in your kit is datejime. So I've got a couple of different ones of these. I tend to prefer this kind. This one's still in the package, but I do have some of these that I actually use. It's kind of like it's sort of stiff, like a stiff kind of cardboard almost, and then the sashes on the end are like free-flowing. And you use this to tie on the kimono after you do the koshihimo belts or the stretchy belts. And this helps kind of hold things in place and helps kind of start flattening out that area where you've got all of the ties and stuff. So you will need one of these. I do use an extra one for my juban underneath as well, which is this part that has the collar. That makes it a little easier. This one's like a Velcro one. I have a couple of different ones that are similar to this. But I like to use these ones for the juban, but you can use these for the kimono part as well. But it's also a datejime, it's just a different style with Velcro instead of the tying manually. Just personal preference, whatever you prefer. Also, one of my favorite parts is the kimono clips. I was making sure I didn't have it upside down. These Kitsuke kimono clips. Love, love, love these for Kitsuke. They make the process super easy. They help hold things in place while you're securing things or tying things. I like to use these on the collar when I'm actually adjusting the kimono and actually starting to tie it up so the collar doesn't keep slipping. I also use these when I'm doing my obi to help hold things in place while I'm doing the rest of the folds. I've got these ones that I've already used that are unpacked, but as you can see, they're like little clips and they have kind of that rubber material on the inside so it doesn't damage the kimono. But these are really, really great. I recommend having at least two, but a third one does not hurt. So, and they come in lots of different colorful designs and things, but I absolutely like to have these for my Kitsuke kit because they make getting ready a lot easier so you don't have to try and hold things in place or struggle. So I like those, as well as you will need an obi-ita. So obi-ita is kind of like this hard board. This goes on before you start your obi. This is part of what keeps it hard and gets that nice flat surface. So these are an absolute must for any obi that you're going to do. Unless it's, I think, like a heko obi for yukata, then maybe not so much. But for any kind of formal obi, you will need one of these. This one has the strap on the back, so this actually, like, it hooks, as you can see, into it, and you just strap this on. I prefer that kind personally, just because it's easier to hold in place. But you can buy ones that do not have the strap, and while you're doing the obi, you would just tuck that into that first fold, since you can see there's like a little bit of a pocket here, right? So when you're doing that first go around with your obi, you would slide this in before you go around with the next layer, just to ensure it lays flat. That's a little harder, I think. It's very common, but I actually prefer the ones with the strap. But you will need one of these, as well as an obi makura. So obi makura it literally translates to obi pillow. So this is kind of like a little pillow. It's got some little like kind of straps. It's almost like in this long tube fabric thing. It's almost kind of like gauze-like a little bit, or maybe like linen. You will need this for different kinds of musubi or obi styles for the back, but primarily for otaiko style, which is what I usually wear, you will need an obi makura. So this helps hold up the back part of the obi at the top, as well as kind of add some padding to kind of fluff it out. As you can see, I'll turn around a little bit. This is my otaiko style obi, and my obi makura is up here. You can't see it, but that's what that kind of where it's puffing out. That's where the obi makura would go. So you will need one of those to do otaiko style musubi. So absolutely need obi makura. In a pinch, before I had obi makura, I actually used a pool noodle, a small one that I had cut up into sections, and then I just strung a koshi himo belt through the hole, and I've actually used that when I wasn't able to get one of these. So, but this works a lot better. Also, another thing that came with my kit, you don't have to have, it's just a bonus. This kit came with an extra collar. So this is like the white material that you would use to go over your collar. I do have fake collars that I already use that are washable, that you can wear them alone or you can layer them over your juban like I like to do. They're just a fake collar with like the strings and stuff on it. If you watch my previous kimono video, you can actually see what I'm talking about with one of these. But if you don't have one of those and your collar just needs to replace or gets dirty, you can use this to sew this on, and you just do like a loose stitch over it. There are special ways to do that without damaging the kimono. You have to be careful, but this is really nice for replacing when that fabric gets worn out. So that is another item that's a bonus. Last thing that you will need absolutely to make your Kitsuke look a little cleaner would be what's called an erishin, which is like a hard stiff collar that goes in here. I've got this one that's already wrapped up, but I'll show you one that's not wrapped. So this is what an erishin is. It's like a kind of hard plastic band. You slip this into the collar of the juban, so that way when you're wearing it, it allows that collar to sit nice and stiff, so you're able to get that nice smooth line like how you get with the dip in the back. So this is an absolute must to make your Kitsuke look a little more cleaner and presentable. There have been a couple of times I've forgotten to put it in and it didn't look bad, but it looks cleaner if you use one of these. So absolutely use an erishin. And then last thing that this kit came with that I just thought was really neat was a kimono hanger. So this one's still in the box, but I'll unbox it for you. I've actually got a couple of these, but just to kind of show you what this is. So it's like this little bar, and you unfold it, and this allows you to hang your kimono up. You slip this into the arm part, so this way you can hang it when you're trying to get ready, and you can also use this to hang other things on, like your koshihimo belts or anything like that. But this is really helpful for hanging things up when you're in the process of getting ready, so I really like this as well. Like I said, I have a couple of those, but it's not necessary. It's just a bonus if you want that. But yeah, that's a little bit about some of the items that I have in this kit. This kit is from a seller called Chirimen Bunny. I've mentioned them on my channel before. Really, really love Chirimen Bunny's store. She's on Etsy. I'll go ahead and link the kit below in the description, as well as her shop there. So please check that out. If you're getting started in kimono and you need something to get started on perfect Kitsuke, highly, highly recommend this kit. It is super helpful and it has all the basic tools that you'll need to get started. So highly recommend checking out Chirimen Bunny shop. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know below and I will answer them. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel to see more henshin related content. So thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day and we'll talk soon. Take care, everyone. Arigatou gozaimashita.